Hi guys, come move with me. Welcome. Push your feet out in front of you, bring your hands up to the ceiling, look up towards your fingertips, and then just hinge back, opening the collarbone, lengthening out through the neck and pulling the ribs in, and then circle your hands around to your back. Get the crown of your head towards your toes. Give me one bend and straighten through the elbows and lift the palms up as far as you can behind your hips. And then bring it right back to starting position. Hands up overhead, hinge back, open the chest, compress the ribs, take the arms around, fold forward, pull the navel in, lift the hands up, and then bring it right back in. Big inhale, open the collarbone, round forward, lift the hands, and then bring it right back in. Let's just bend and straighten the fingertips, in and out. Elbows behind the waist, sitting tall. We're not using any props today at all. You're gonna bring your hands back, you're gonna lower them down and lift your hips up. Look towards the ceiling and then drop the head again and round forward. Bring the hands back out, lift the hips, pull the navel in, and then come back forward. Let's do it one more time. Around, lift up, drop the hips, fold forward, and then come back to sitting tall. Fidget onto your sits bones, bend the knees, and roll down. Exhale, and then come right back up. So separate your feet to hip distance. When you roll down to the lower tips of shoulder blades and then come back up, you're going through supported pelvis and then back to neutral when you sit tall. 3, 2, if you need to use the backs of your thighs to get up, it would look something like this. And then you bring the arms up and then come right back down. And then grab and come up. Good, now let's bring the right leg out and then the left leg out. Separate your feet to hip distance, bring the hands up to shoulder height. Retract the shoulder blades, compress the ribs, twist to the right, bring the left hand on the outside of that right foot and get the left ear down by that right knee. Now pulse it. So reaching those fingertips as far away from one another as possible and then come right back up to sitting tall and switch. And pulse, pull the abs in, look back towards that left back corner of mat, push out through the backs of the knees. Let's do a couple more. Try to keep your elbows straight the whole time. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Bring the knees back up, come to chair position, articulate down to lower tips of shoulder blades, turn the palms down and start your pulsing. So we're doing hundreds. Get those shins up, parallel to the ceiling. Take a couple big deep breaths here, and then lift the legs to the ceiling, turn the toes out, touch the heels together, point the toes and straighten the knees. Now lower down 2 inches, lower down 2 inches, come up a little higher off the shoulder blades, come down 2 inches, down 2 inches, a little lower, come as low as you can go without having it hurt your lower back. So the lower you go, the more challenging it is, and then come up 2 inches, and up 2 inches, and up 2 inches. You got it. Meet me at 90 degrees. Really find that compression of the ribs. Navel is to spine. Lower down. Let's do one more set. 2 inches down, 2 inches down. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees into chest. Rock side to side. Take your arms to a T, bring the legs to the right, look to the left. Good, knit your hands behind your head, look down that left side body. Try to keep your elbows straight, get a drizzy on the ceiling, and then just lift the ribs up towards that left hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then bring that left hand down by your hip and reach. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left hand behind head, right hand to left hip. Reach here. 5, 4. Think about that right floating rib coming towards left hip. 3, 2, and 1. Both hands back behind head. Open that left elbow. Open the left leg. Come back to the midline. Take your gaze up and pulse it here. Compress the ribs. Pull the navel in. Open the knees. The feet are pressed against one another. 3, 2, and 1. Now bring the right hand down the midline, parallel to it. And then over to the left knee. Find that twist in the right rib to left knee. And then bring the right hand back through and switch. So take your gaze up, find the length on the front of the neck, and pulse. And then twist to the left, or actually left hand to right knee. And then left hand back through. You're going to bring the right knee over to the left. Good. Now pulse it up here. Find that length, hip to shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right hand to hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right hand behind. Bring the left hand over to the right hip. 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Lay the head down. Take your arms out to a cactus or a T. Look to your right shoulder. And just let gravity kind of lower your right hip. Find the twist in the waist. Pull the navel in. Bring the feet back to your malasana. Bring your hands to the midline. Lift your head and shoulders and pulse up. Navel to spine. Push lower back into mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees in, legs back up to chair. I want you to roll up to your teaser or to your boat pose. So you can always hold on to the backs of your legs, or try not to. Maybe lift your legs up and straighten them and then hover down. Exhale. So you have the choice. You can bend, come back up. You can kind of pull on the backs of your legs to adjust your shoulders and get width in the chest. And then bring your hands out and take it down. Or come all the way up with straight legs. Finding that length in the neck, out through the top of the head. Now take your arms out to a T when you come down. 5, 4, modify as you need to. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here, just bend the right knee. 1, 2, 3, now switch. 1, 2, 3, now both legs down. Straighten the legs, bring the hands up, fold forward, release those hip flexors. Articulate back to sitting tall and all the way back down. Onto the mat, reach the fingertips overhead. Let's do some roll-ups. Take a breath, bring the hands over the shoulders to the hips. Articulate to full flexion, nose to knees, and articulate right back down. And right back up. Big inhale, open shoulders, drop the head, and right back down. Last time. Big inhale. This time I want you to articulate down. You're going to drop the nose to the knees and then articulate all the way down to the mat. And push your palms, wrists, forearms into the mat. Lift your legs up to 90 degrees. Bring your heels in, your toes out. Give me horizontal scissors. Now walk the heels down towards the floor. Keep the legs close together. Think about the inner thighs, the adductors working towards one another. Go the other way. And then back up. Now we're going to get bigger. You're at 90 degrees. I want you to crisscross and open. Crisscross and open. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Your legs are at 90. Your hands are down by your hips. You're going to come into a short spine and you're gonna modify it as you need to. So if you have any neck or back issues, you're just gonna lift up to your waistline and it's gonna look like this. You're gonna lift up, you're gonna bend your knees, and you're gonna push out. Let's take our heels together, toes apart. Bring the legs back to 90, lift up to the waist, bend the knees to a frog, and then push back out. You wanna go further with it, bring the legs back up to 90. That's the real work with the abs, lifting the hips, or lifting the heels to the hips. And then you're gonna lift up, and you can come to the waistline, the shoulder blades, all the way over, bend the knees, articulate through. Let's do 3. Heels up, lift hips and shoulders, drop the knees close to the nose, and then push through. Last one, back to that 90 degree. Remember, you modify as you see fit. You can go waist, ribs, or all the way to the shoulders. Over, do your frog, and then push out. Good, now hold it here. Lift your head and shoulders, turn your palms up, click your heels, pull your abs in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull your knees in for a frog, drop your head in your hands, lift your hips up. Again, modifying as you see fit. Articulate down. So if you need to modify, you're just gonna lift your sacrum. Straighten and come back through. You wanna take it further? Go to the waist, the ribs, or all the way over. Straighten the legs. Frog, lift up. Straighten legs. Articulate down. This time come to your teaser. Good. Now if you want to take it all the way, you're going to push your palms down, articulate down to that hover, bring the legs up and over, separate heels to hip distance, articulate down, and then come back to your teaser. Good. Hover, lift, up and over, separate heels, roll through, and one last time. Drop the head, lift the heels, take it up and over, separate the heels, and articulate down. Good. Bring your hands to heart center. Bring the left elbow over to the right knee. Now lengthen out that left leg and look over your right shoulder. Now switch, and switch, and switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees in, lower down. Come on up. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up, drop your feet, sit back up on your hips, and bring your hands back up to the ceiling. Fold forward, drop your nose between your knees, articulate back to sitting tall, and bring your right foot into your left thigh. Bring your left arm on the inside of your thigh, the right hand up overhead. Find that stretch. Good. Okay, now push up onto your right shin. Lift the left hand, come on down. Let's do one more. Lengthen out. Last one. Push up. Good. Bring the left leg up. Pulse the left heel towards the ceiling. Look towards the left hand. Compress the ribs. I'm just going to adjust my knee a little bit. Make sure your right hand is right under your shoulder. And then you're going to give me small circles. That left foot is at hip height. Couple big breaths. And then switch direction. Turn the knee up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then lift and lower. Just barely tapping that toe. 3, 2, really feel that abductor working the whole lateral edge of the left leg. Now you're going to do like an arc. So you're going to touch the big toe, you're going to bring it up, and you're going to bring it behind you. Let's do 5, 4. If you need to modify, you can always come down on your right hip. 3, 2, and 1. That left leg goes back to that starting position. You're going to bring the left hand behind your head. Bring the knee into the elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the left leg. Hover the right knee, kick the right leg out and pulse it up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the right knee in and out. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the right leg, come on down, and come back to the left leg. Open the right shoulder, drop the left forearm on the inside of the thigh. And then come on up, bring the right leg in, roll back down onto your sacrum, knit the hands back behind the head, bring the right elbow to the left knee, open the left shoulder, and switch. Let's do this nice and slow. Try to keep the neck long on all sides, like you're holding a soft peach between your chin and your chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, now let's get a little faster. Kick it out if you wish. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees back into chest. Roll yourself up to seated position. Sit back up onto your hips. And let's open that right leg and bring the left foot in. Open the right elbow down to the right leg and bring the left hand overhead. Shoulders wide, circle left hand back, come up into your stargazer, come on down. Big inhale, exhale. Last one, you're gonna come on up, you're gonna hold it here. You're gonna lift the right leg to hip height and pulse. Couple breaths, opening the shoulders. Good, now lift and lower the right leg. Take your gaze up to your right hand. Make sure it's directly over your left hand and you're reaching. Fingertip away from fingertip. Now we're gonna do that arc. So bring it forward and back, and forward and back. Let's do 5, 4, 3, try to engage that foot. Make a conscious effort to really point it and straighten the knee. 3, 2, last one. Right leg back up behind the hip, right hand behind head. Bring the right knee into the elbow. Good, find that lateral flexion, right side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the right leg, reach the right hand up, hover the left leg. Good, bring the hand back behind the head and pulse the left leg up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring left knee into right elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the left leg, open the shoulder, and breathe. I think we forgot to do this one. No, we did that one. I think, yeah, we did that one. And reach the right hand overhead. Good, now circle down. And open the left leg and bring both hands over to the right leg. Good, now bring your hands to the center line. Drop the nose to the knees. Good, pull the heels together. I'm just gonna face you again. Let's do some tricep dips. So think about keeping the hips up and you're just bending the elbows. Pull the eye of the elbow back towards the back of the mat. Open the collarbone, pull the navel in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the right leg up. Let's do the same thing. 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. Left leg up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left leg down. Bring hips back by hands. Bring hands up. Fold forward. Bow the head. Sit tall. Lay down. So you're laying on your back and you're gonna bring your heels in, and then I just want you to lift up for a bridge. Wrapping the thighs towards the tailbone. Take a couple breaths here. Opening the collarbone, narrowing the waist, and breathe. Pulse the pubic bone up towards the ceiling. Think about the connection of the hamstrings and the glutes. Push down through length of arm. Good. 2 down, halfway, 1 up. 2 down, 1 up. Track those knees right over second and third toe. This is a small little movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Drop the hips and lift up. 5, 4. So you're still hinging. You're keeping the lower back off the mat the whole time. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now bring your knees in and out. In and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels in, knees in. Now pulse the knees out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift and lower the hips again. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips all the way. Separate the feet to hip distance. Lift the right leg up. So really even out the hips, get a 90-degree angle in that knee joint and just touch the big toe to the floor. You're not bringing the heel any closer to the hip. You're hinging at the hip. You're keeping the hip square. 5, the shoulders are wide. 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring the right leg down, switch, left leg. 5, 4, 3, 2. I just want you to isolate that area. It should be hard. Now bring both legs up. I want you to alternate. 5, 4. You can put your hands right on your hip joints for that proprioception. 3, 2. Think about your mola bundae. 2 inches out, 2 inches down from navel. Last one, both legs up. Zip up your legs, touch big toe to floor. 5, stay on the lower part of your sacrum. Keep that neutral arch, little space in lower back. 3, 2, and 1. Push the heels out, knit the hands behind the head, bring the knees into the elbows. Good, now open up and bring it right back in. And open up and back in. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs up to 90, down to 45. Give me a frog. Up to 90, down to 45, and frog. Think about those 3 points. Pause at 90, pause at 45, bring the heels into the crotch, and then back up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. Knees into chest, roll around on the sacrum in a clockwise motion. And then bring your nose to your knees and knit your hands behind your, or in front of your shin, and then switch. Good, switch, switch, switch. 5, 4, you can always open your arms if you want to challenge yourself a little more. 3, 2, and 1. Meet me with the left knee to the nose. Drop the right heel, the head and the shoulder. Bring the left leg around the ribs on the left side, and then pull that left knee across the body. Look towards the left shoulder. Find the twist. Bring the left leg back up to the center line. Knit the hands behind the thigh. Flex both feet and laterally rotate shoulders. Good. Now look up and walk your hands up towards that ankle. Pulse the right heel and scissor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. In with the right leg up. Walk your hands down towards your crotch, knit your hands behind your thigh, drop your left heel, head and shoulders, and flex your feet away from one another. And breathe. Think about laterally rotating the shoulders towards the mat, pulling the right knee around the ribs on the right side. Take a big inhale. And then on the exhale, pull the right leg across the body with the left hand. Twist at the waist and breathe. Good. You're gonna just bring the legs back to the midline, rock forward and back, cross your ankles. Come to seated position, and then let me have you push back into all fours and go into cat-cow. So go from flexion to extension. Find some mobility in your spine and breathe. Good. Okay. Bring the fingertips towards the knees. Go around in a circular motion, opening up those wrists. The eye of the elbow is facing the front of the mat. Go the other way. Spread out the fingertips. Press down through the knuckles. And then pause here. Maybe push back through the right foot and maybe the left foot as well. If this is too intense on your wrists, you can bring one hand forward and try to distribute your weight evenly. If that's too much, bring the left hand forward as well. Otherwise, try to keep your hands facing your feet and puff up through the shoulder blades. Then drop the knees, take it back to child's pose, and rest. Having a little bit of a foot cramp. I'm getting some water. So in child's pose, try to get your forehead onto the mat and rock your brow line side to side so you're releasing any tension in your face. And then walk your hands over to the right corner of the mat, putting your left hand on top of your right hand and breathing into the left side of your ribs. And then slowly switch. Go to the other side, right hand on top of left. And then walk your hands back to the midline. Come back up onto all fours. Push back through that right foot and just lift it up to hip height. Lengthen out the back of the neck, flex the left foot, and push back to a three-legged dog. Lift that right heel up towards the ceiling. Drop the ears between the shoulders. Roll forward to a plank and bring the right knee to the chest. Let's do that 3 times. Exhale when you come forward. Inhale when you lift up. Good. Last time, you're going to bring the right knee in, and then I want you to just kind of bring it back and forth like a pendulum. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the right knee to the right wrist, right ankle to left wrist. Bring that left leg all the way back. Turn the left hip down and come down onto your forearms. Bow your head. Stack your forehead on your hands if you can to align the neck. And try to adjust the hips evenly. Take a couple breaths there. Lengthening out the neck, relaxing the jaw, and breathing. And then lift up into extension. Sit back on that right hip. Bring the left foot over the right. Hug the left leg with the right arm. Look over the left shoulder. Take a breath. Sit tall. Big inhale. Exhale and rotate. Another breath. Sitting tall. Exhale and rotate. And then bring both hands over to your right hip. Bow your head. Get a little counter stretch. Okay, now watch me here. You're just going to walk your hands around and come back to your seated position on the other side. You want me to do it again? So you were like this, right? And your hands are over next to your right hip. Now I'm going to tent my fingertips. I'm going to flex my right foot. I'm going to stand up and I'm just going to walk my hands around like in a 180, not a 360, I think. Yeah, half circle. And you're going to end up on the other side. Nobody's looking, just try it. Look over that right shoulder, hugging the right knee with your left hand, sitting tall, plugging the right hip down, taking a breath, inhale. Exhale and rotate. Another breath, sitting tall, inhale. Exhale and rotate. And give you that little counter stretch. Pulling the abs in. Good. Now bring your hands to the front of the mat. Flex your left foot and kick that right leg back up. Drop it down to meet your left leg. Walk it back and pedal it out in a downward dog. Take a couple breaths here. Roll forward to a plank. Sit back on your heels and hover the knees. And then come down almost so you're hovering onto the floor in a chaturanga and back up to a plank. So try it again. Hover the knees, come forward to that chaturanga, come up to your plank and hover. Last time, back to your chaturanga, up to your plank, hover at the knees, drop down, rest forehead on mat. Roll forward on all fours. Lift back up to your downward dog. Lift that left leg up. Lift and lower the right heel. Good. Pulse the left heel up and bring it in. Let's do 3, 2, last one, like a pendulum. Lengthen out neck, 5, 4, back and forth from right to left side. And then you're gonna end with the left knee to the left wrist, left ankle to right wrist. Push back through that right hip, come down onto your forearms, bow your head, stack your fists, lengthen the neck. Couple breaths here, and breathe. Push up onto your fingertips, into extension. Sit back on that left hip, and bring both feet forward. Come to the front of the mat, cross your legs, bring your hands onto your knees, close your eyes just for a second. And notice maybe your circulation is going a little faster, you feel more fluid through your joints, you found a little space, you've opened up. There's been a lot of sitting, more than likely, and eating these last couple weeks, so let's try to balance it out a little bit and just think all good thoughts. You know, it's not the situation, it's how we handle it. So let's all try to handle it the best way we know how. I miss you guys. Namaste. Thank you.